Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is BATRIESHA AMANI, but you can call me AMANI. So for today, we will be talking about how does speech disorders are connected to the brain and also its speech functions. Speech may sound simple, but actually it's one of the most complex thing that our brain does, because every word we say involves planning, coordination, and also the muscle movements. Each of these criteria are controlled by the specific areas of our brain. Okay, so whenever we speak or talk, the process starts at the frontal lobe, especially in an area called Broca's area. So this is where we plan and organize the movements needed to say each sound when we talk or speak. Okay, so whenever the plan is ready, the primary motor cortex will send signals to the muscles of our lips, tongue, and also our vocal cords through the cranial nerves. Other parts of the brain also help out in managing our speech. For example, the basal ganglia also helps out in making sure that our speech flows naturally. Meanwhile, the cerebellum helps us to stay on rhythm and also maintain coordination. Together, both of these systems helps us to make our speech clear, fluent, and expressive. But if any of the regions are damaged, for example, a head stroke, a head injury, or any neurological disease, where speech can become distorted. So, this is where motor speech disorders like dysarthria and also apraxia of speech, known as AOS, comes in. Okay everyone, let's dive in more deeper into part 1, which is dysarthria. Okay, for dysarthria, it happens when there's damage to the motor pathways that control the muscles used for speech. This can include the brainstem, cerebellum, motor cortex, and also the cranial nerves that carry movement commands to the face and the mouth. Because of the muscles are weak, slow, and also uncoordinated, people with dysarthria have difficulty in controlling their speech movement. Their speech may sound slurred, soft, and also monotone, and sometimes a person can be sound or heard mumbling their words even though they know exactly what they want to say. So let's move on to the features of dysarthria, where the first feature is imprecise articulation, where consonants sound blurry. And for the second one, which is weak breath support, where the speech delay may fade out or sound quiet. For the third features of dysarthria, which is harsh voice quality. And for the last one, which is abnormal rhythm, which can make our speech sound robotic or even flat. Okay everyone, let's move on to the second part, which is on apraxia of speech. In apraxia, the brain has trouble in planning and also sequencing the movements needed for speech. This usually happens when the left frontal lobe or the insula is damaged. So, people with apraxia often know exactly what they want to say, but they have difficulty in getting their words out correctly. They may pause, repeat sounds, or even showing groping movements like trying to find the right position for their mouth. Let's begin with the features of AOS. So for the first feature for apraxia is inconsistent speech areas and also the difficulty in starting speech. Another feature of dysarthria where unusual stress and rhythm can make our speech sound choppy or uneven. People with apraxia are often aware of their mistakes, which can be very frustrating for them. Apraxia is like having a software glitch where the brain cannot coordinate the commands even though the muscles work. Okay, so for these both motor speech disorders show how deeply the speech depends on the brain. So for dysarthria affects motor execution, where it's about weak and uncoordinated muscle. Meanwhile, for apraxia, it affects motor planning, where it's about how the brain sequences the movement. Both dysarthria and apraxia of speech reminds us speech is not just about words, it's a coordinated dance between thought, planning, and also movement. When any parts of the system is damaged or broken, speech can become a real challenge. By understanding the neurological basis on these disorders, which are dysarthria and apraxia of speech, it helps professionals in designing better therapies, and also it is a great and beneficial exposure to us where it gives a deeper appreciation on how amazing our brains really are. So thank you for listening and see you next time.